So let's get started. Very excited to be here today. My name is Shoshana and I'm from the product marketing team at Houzz. And I'm here today with our Director of Client Engagement, Chloe Siegmann. You must have seen Chloe's face everywhere on our Facebook groups whenever we have new updates. And we're here today to talk to you, to give you a live demo of Houzz Pro, show you what you can expect in the Houzz Pro experience, how the features that you have on Ivy, you're going to find them again on Houzz Pro, and also answer your questions live. So we're going to get started. Please look at you should have a Q&A panel. There are some questions that we'll be able to answer on the fly, and we'll also keep questions for the end. Chloe, are you excited to get started with this demo? Let's.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming. I know you're all incredibly busy. We have a great turnout today. If I haven't met you or talked to you, really looking forward to hopefully giving you some information today. And that's really all this is. I want to, of course, lead with that I know there's been a lot of different communication about Ivy and Houzz Pro. There's no requirement to make the move, but we have so much to offer on Houzz Pro, and a lot of this is feedback from our Ivies of feature improvements and things that you'd like to see. So really excited to talk to you about that today. And I've been with Houzz for about 10 years. So work really closely with both Ivies and Houzz Pro customers. I'm really hopeful I can give you a good picture of all the things that we have, but please do ask your questions. So utilize that Q&A. Shoshana's, I'm sure, going to be busy as well as myself, but we want to make sure to answer your questions and tailor this to you. So really looking forward to diving in today.
Amazing. Thank you, Chloe. And I think we can start by giving you an overview before we jump into the demo. So we want to give you an overview of what's included in Houzz Pro compared to what you currently have on Ivy and the additional features. So do you want to take it away?
Yes, absolutely. So there's a lot on this screen, right? So Houzz Pro, we are trying to help our design community utilize one system and not 6 or 7. So again, I talked to a lot of designers. I know you guys are using a lot of different things to make sure that your process is moving smoothly along. You'll see in green, these are all the features in Houzz Pro that don't currently exist in Ivy. So whether, for example, you need a CRM, that's a client relationship management tool to better organize your leads, have some follow-up, some templated messages for you and your team to make sure that you're consistently talking about your company in the right way. We have that at Houzz Pro. We also, of course, have 3D floor plans and mood boards that are incredibly popular with our designers. And there's some other tools too, like takeoffs, schedules, unlimited cloud storage, daily logs. So there's a lot in here that's very comprehensive, but of course you can utilize the things that are most important to you. And then Houzz Pro got a lot of upgrades as well. So a lot of the features that you know and love in Ivy have been improved in Houzz Pro. So whether that just be the documents themselves, they've definitely gotten a facelift. We're continuing to iterate on them and make them even better with automations and auto saving. And then of course, even like reporting, for example, that's improved a ton. So lots of different things that we have in Houzz Pro. We're not going to be able to go through all of them in detail because as you can see, it's pretty robust. But again, I hope that I can give you a really good picture of some of the most popular features that our Ivies love on Houzz Pro who have already made the move.
Amazing. Thank you, Chloe.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's get started. Let's jump and show them how it looks like and answer the questions.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to dive into my demo account of Houzz Pro. Now, don't get overwhelmed. It does look different, but believe me, it's going to be so intuitive once you jump in. Where I'm going to start with, I'm going to just first kind of do an overview of this is just the home screen on Houzz. So you probably aren't really going to spend a ton of time here. You're going to be spending most of your time within your projects on Houzz. And I know this is where we're going to get a lot of questions from individuals who are curious about making the move over to Houzz Pro. So what happens if you are wanting to make the move, we'll give you some information on how you can get in touch with us, but it's very simple. Ultimately, you're just going to sign to move all your information over to Houzz Pro electronically. And we do move it all over for you. So you're not going to lose anything from like the library you've curated, your documents, your existing projects, your clients. It's all going to be in here for you. So there's virtually no downtime. The other thing that I'll call out, and I know this looks a little bit different on my screen, is for any IVs that come over to Houzz Pro, there's going to be another column here that says new experience. So you're going to have all of your existing projects loaded in from IV that are going to look exactly the same. So like the click path to find those documents or how things are organized in IV today for your projects that are still running, none of that changes. It is basically IV with a Houzz Pro picture frame. So there's no learning curve that's going to interrupt you while you're working through your projects today. So that shouldn't be anything that's going to, halt you or you need to figure out the appropriate time to do this. The newness of Houzz Pro starts when you create your first new project in the new system. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today, is the new projects and all the great benefits that they have. So let's go ahead and I'm going to quickly just dive into a project that I've already created on my Houzz Pro. And again, I'll just point out on the left-hand side a couple things for you. So this is all of the different features that you may have access to in your subscription. Again, whether it be from planning to management to finances, there's lots of different tools within Houzz. The other things that I'm going to call out is there's tons of incredible ways to get support. So newness can be a little bit scary, but in the question mark here in the bottom left, we have tons of great tutorials from like our help center guides, webinars like what you're attending today. You can, of course, call our team, get some help from them. We're open from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're happy to help. So you can give us a call Monday through Friday. You can even submit a ticket to our team. But the most popular way that our IVs as well as other professionals get in touch with us is this live chat in the bottom right-hand corner. So that chat functionality is basically actually a lot of our previous IV CSMs are managing this chat, and they're here to help make sure they answer your questions. You can send screenshots to them, etc. They are more than willing to talk to you live on chat and make sure that you're getting the help that you need for both you and your team members. Okay, so next, let's again just kind of take a deeper dive into this project itself. What I want to talk about first is proposals, because I think that's hopefully the source of truth for many of our designers. I know a lot of businesses operate differently, but proposals are probably something that's of interest to you, that you want to understand what they look like in the new experience and how you go about building them. So there's a lot of different ways to create proposals on Houzz. You'll see in my upper right-hand corner that I can start from scratch. I could upload one, like for example, if I had one existing elsewhere, but you guys coming from Ivy, you're going to have them come over anyway. And then we do have some templates as well, which you can also make your own. So let's go ahead and start from scratch so you can kind of see what this looks like. And I'm going to just take a brief pause for a moment. Shoshana, is there any questions that I can help answer before I dive in?
I mean, I think, yes, if we can, there's some questions about projects and having to switch back and forth.
Okay.
You explain, you give that great overview at the beginning, but I think, we can also tell them a little bit more about like how quick is that transition? Like I see how smooth is the transition, how many days should be allocating for the conversion. We also have, do you have to switch back and forth between new and old system when having projects in both, and talking about projects that spanning years?
Totally. Great questions. So yeah, let me paint another layer there. If you're interested in making the move, again, we're going to kind of close the presentation with next steps for you. Ultimately, what you're going to do is email ivs@houzz.com. That goes to me, that goes to Shoshana, and we're personally going to make sure that you go to the right place. Now, our team will help handhold you if you basically want to have a one-on-one conversation with us. But what we're going to do is send you an agreement to go ahead and get on to Houzz Pro. We're going to match your current price. You're going to have unlimited team members. So all that is taken care of for you. And no, you don't need to toggle in between two systems. Everything is going to come into Houzz. So you're going to sign into Houzz Pro. You'll see all of your old projects there, and then anything new that you create. So no, you're not going to be switching back and forth between Ivy and Houzz Pro. Everything will be in this new system on this screen here once we get it all set up for you. And like I said, there's virtually zero downtime. So it's literally a matter of how fast you are in signing your agreement. We'll get that activated probably within minutes. And then you're up and running. So it's very, very fast. There should be literally no interruption to your workflow. As long as you talk to us and we help set it up appropriately for you, you should be perfectly fine.
Awesome. Thank you, Chloe. So let's show them how they can create proposals in this new experience.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back into a project that I have here. And like I said, we want to start with a proposal from scratch, right? So just to kind of start over here in the upper right, I'll just click new proposal from scratch. And we'll start from the top. So all this information up at the top, I previously loaded in. Everything's going to be branded to my own company. So I can, of course, upload my logo and have all my different information here, as well as that for my client. Some of the things that I like about this, I know I had mentioned autosave, which is a great feature. I know our Ivies had requested that quite a bit. So if I have to walk away and get interrupted, my work is automatically being saved for me in the background. But there is a lot of customizations. So for example, if I work from home, I don't want to show my address on the document. I can hide certain fields here. I can add custom fields if I'd like. I can do similar things and update the information on the billing side, as well as the document itself. I can have other fields that would appear right below the proposal line. So if there's some just unique things that I want to include about my business or company just on the header of the document, I can go ahead and do that. And then all this text here, you can see that I can edit it. So if I don't like the way that something reads, again, I can go ahead and change it. It's very, very easy to make those manipulations just up at the top here. So of course, building the document, I know probably many of you are big fans of the Clipper. Definitely still have that here at Houzz Pro, functions exactly the same. So if I'm going to go ahead and build my proposal from items that I've clipped in the past, I can go ahead and find those in my library, whether they're associated with the project or just in my library overall. I can filter as well. So maybe, for example, I only use the items that I have from CB2 or from Houzz. I can find things more easily by using these filters for vendors or categories, or I can do a quick search right here in the upper right. So as I am grabbing different items to start building my proposal, you'll see things, of course, are coming in. And then I can show you a little bit more on the things that I can customize here. But I also want to, let me find another. Let me see. Okay, so I want to show you, because I know some of our designers are using groups on documents, so that's also something that we have on Houzz Pro as well. So let me go ahead, I'm going to click on this customize button. I have images turned off, but I want to turn them on. You know, I like things visual for my clients, so I'm going to hit that customize, and then I'll have a little bit more options here. On the left, maybe I don't like that auto numbering. I'm going to turn that off. Of course, I don't want my markup on. I'm going to turn that off. I can also reorganize how I want it to look like, and I can add new columns again down below. So lots of different ways to make these documents look like how you want them to look. Now, right now, I have it grouped by a room, but maybe I don't, for example, want to organize it by room. I can recategorize these things. So again, I can move columns around, I can move rows around by grabbing these 6 dots. So I can just continue to kind of reorganize things in the way that I want. It's very intuitive, super user-friendly. Another piece of feedback that we got from our Ivy community, I know I've talked to a couple designers about this, is if they're reusing kind of the same items over and over again, but we know pricing changes. So say, for example, the cost of this item now I know is $19. I can save that back to my library so I don't have to do that over and over and over again. So just a couple of quick things that make your life hopefully easier. Once I have all that, oh, I'll pause. Shoshana, is there questions?
I'm just thinking maybe, sorry, because I was also answering questions at the same time. We are getting questions about, comparing what's much better about Houzz Pro compared to Studio Designer. We'll get that in a bit, because our design tools, I mean, we have design tools. You can see the experience just here, creating a proposal, the autosave, the customization capabilities. I mean, it's night and day. Compared to Studio. Here, do you want to show them also that they can create groups like they used to be?
Yes. So if you're doing any kind of custom work, I know that a few of our designers do that. If you have those items added, you can basically check the boxes next to them and create a group. So for example, if I'm creating my own custom pillow, I can go ahead and add that in with the details down beneath. That won't be visible to my client. And I can add an overall picture of the finished product here if I'd like. So yes, groups are absolutely something that we have on our documents now. In the upper right, in this actions menu, you'll also see, again, we've incorporated a lot here. So whether it's I want to simply switch this over to creating an invoice, a purchase order, even if I want to create an invoice for just one line item, I could do that. If I want to duplicate and edit this to maybe use this as a template moving forward, or show different options, or save it as a template overall, I can. There's also an ability to merge proposals, which I know is another big request.
And in addition to merging proposals, you'll be able to merge invoices, to merge purchase orders. So we know also it's a very popular feature for our designers. They love that merging. I mean, you want merging purchase order, but I don't think you have the ability to merge proposals or invoices.
Yes. Very easy to hopefully help streamline your life a little bit. There's some automations even up at the upper right. Maybe I want, for example, some reminders to create a task when something's overdue, or email my client when a proposal's overdue, send some thank you messages. Those are all up there as well if you want to turn them on.
Awesome. That's really great. We can also show them the multiple payments, the payment schedule, right?
Yeah. So if I keep scrolling down, you'll see some other options here that look very similar on the invoice, for example. So if I want to schedule my payments, I just click that black button. It will do the math for me, but then of course I can manually make some changes here if I'd like, even change the names, change the terms, etc. We absolutely have online payments here at Houzz, similar to Ivy, although I will say that we've worked really hard on Houzz Pro of getting you faster payout time. So whether it's ACH or credit card, the fees are the same. You can offset them to your clients. You could bake them into your markup overall if you'd like. But it is fast payout times. And even for if you need it really, really fast, like within 30 minutes, we have instant payouts as well on Houzz Pro. So if you want to pay an additional 1% fee to get that money ASAP, you can do that in Houzz Pro too. You'll also see as I continue scrolling, you can attach files. So maybe if you have a contract that you'd like to load in here, or if you want to utilize, for example, maybe I want to change your terms and conditions, rename that, and add in my information here. I can save it as a company default or a template. I have a memo option if I so choose. And a big request from Ivy's was having electronic signatures. So I can choose to turn that on or off. But I can basically have my clients sign with their fingertip on their mobile device or on their computer. And then lastly, I do have that great activity stream. So I can see when they're opening the document, when they've approved the document. So I can kind of just see that record of history down beneath.
Amazing.
Show what the preview looks like just so you can see. I always recommend on the preview to make sure to, again, look at what you'd want to adjust or change as far as your client's visibility on these. But this allows you to make sure it looks exactly like how you want it, whether you send it in an email or in a link or on their dashboard, or if you download it as a PDF. Lots of options there.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you, Chloe. And of course, when you send it to your client, it looks amazing. They can open it on their mobile device and can sign and send you the payment from there. Everything is very convenient and optimized for any device. Awesome.
Okay. Let's go back. I think we covered, hopefully in detail, all the questions you may have on proposals, although I did mention this was just one way to build them. There's a number of ways where you can build proposals in Houzz Pro, and a very popular one for our designers is through selections, which is kind of the new naming that we have for room boards, if you're familiar with those in Ivy. So we'd love to hear from you if you're using room boards today. And again, hopefully this is a nice new facelift of all the features you know and love, but with some additional improvements. So I want to just maybe show you some examples, and then I'll dive into creating some as well. But there's lots of ways that you can build selections boards on Houzz. So some samples that I'll show you as that you can kind of see are from one designer. They were adding in, different pictures that they may have taken or renderings that they did even offline from Houzz. You can load those in. Mood boards, like I mentioned, we do have those in Houzz, and 3D floor plans. Then you can see on this option, furnishings. So I want my client maybe to have the permission, or I give them the authority to basically approve or decline different finishes, whether it be dressers or beds or accessories or lighting. It really makes it a seamless way to collaborate with my clients, and I can build these in a way that's very visually compelling. So one of the designers I enjoy talking to a lot, she's now replaced Canva with this tool and PowerPoint. She's now using this exclusively to present her design ideas. And the great thing, again, is this commenting feature where I can collaborate back and forth with not just my client, but maybe with my procurement team, and have them source more options that, again, it's contextual and they can see what I'm referencing. So really great things here in the selections board. I'll go through more of like a kind of a basic demonstration here so you can kind of see a little bit more detail. All right. So selections boards, this is me with my edit access view. In the upper right, super important to set a budget. So I can set a budget by room. I can include in the total if I want tax and shipping to automatically calculate. Of course, you can see on the right, I can add in whether it's items that I've clipped from this project or services. I can add from my library overall. Like we talked about, 3D, mood boards, any images or files, you can load them in right here.
Mention the budget, Chloe, sorry. Just also want to mention that everything that's going to be approved is going to be added to the budget, and also anything that you can specify, including budget. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, it will also be automatically added to the budget. And so yes, it will really help communicate expectations with your client. And yes, we have a budget view per room board, per selection board, but also for the overall project, kind of right, a global budget for the entire project, not just by room.
Exactly. So this is a great way to keep you organized and your client to stay organized. As they're making maybe different decisions, they can actually have some, ability to see what that's going to look like when they're making these, decisions for their project. So if they want to, for example, what is it going to look like if I include this in my budget? It will start tallying that up in the right before I actually physically make the approval. So again, they can kind of play around with this, or you and your team can exactly do the same thing. But lots of really great tools in here, depending on what you want to do. If you want to include product links for any of our e-designers, that's also an option. Lots of great things where you can change the size to make them a little bit more visual. You see, I've obviously created sections here, so that's very easy to do as well. I can hide things from my client, remove them from the board if I happen to make a mistake. So lots of great power and control for you when you're in this process.
And of course, we just had a question from Andrea. Are comments visible to everyone, or do you choose who sees that? You just mentioned commenting with client and procurement team. Of course, you'll be able to keep, you can show that really great. So the thread, the internal thread with your team is, of course,
separate.
Not visible to your client. It's just between you and your team.
Correct. Yeah, it's obviously separated here, so no one's going to see anything that you don't want them to see. But yes, it's a great collaboration tool to definitely stay organized here. Okay, so maybe as the approvals have kind of taken place. Is there another question, Shoshana?
Yes, I'm also answering in the chat, someone asking, when can you still add a product to the library without linking it to a client or project? Yes, of course.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yes.
You just clip items and add them to your library.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so say, for example, I got all my approvals in here. I can convert that, like I mentioned, into a document. So I can convert it to a proposal or an invoice. I can, for example, only put the approved items on a proposal or certain vendors. So lots of, again, different options here to start building these documents once you have them all set up for you. So makes it really nice and really streamlined on this process of selections.
And I want to add a note here, because you mentioned ordering, procurement, and any vendors. I saw a question coming up. I'm not sure if I understood exactly, but everything, you of course, you don't have to order from Houzz. No, like our designers work with their trade vendors, and that's, of course, that's everything is private to you. I know that we've heard many questions that came up throughout the years, and doubts and fears, and I just want to reassure you that everything is yours, and you don't need to order from Houzz anything, and it's going to be your vendor. So just wanted to add that, because I know it comes up often. I don't know where these rumors came from, but I just
our professional community is first and foremost our clients. So we want to make sure that you guys are happy. We're protecting your information. And I know, I think the biggest thing that I'd love to also communicate is we are hearing all this feedback from you guys and moving really swiftly. So I would also mention that, if there's something that you're just dying to have, we are such an open forum of collecting that feedback. I would say that's a big differentiator between us and maybe other softwares is, oh man, we lean into this very, very much so. I think in the last year, we probably released well over 100 different updates to our software. Every single week, there's more and more things coming out. So trying to make it the best thing for you guys, and it's all dependent upon your feedback. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Chloe. And I say, let's go and show them maybe what the new tracker looks like.
Yes.
Because it's a big one. And big differences between what you're currently using on Ivy.
Yes. So this has been a huge project and a really incredible one that a lot of our top designers love on Houzz Pro. Even the small things like not having to flip through multiple pages is something that we've improved with the Houzz Pro project tracker. So there's also, you'll see different options for me to kind of toggle between of like kind of pre-created subsets of information. So whether I'm more so in this planning phase and I want to toggle over to that option to see, what room am I putting that in? What are the material specifications? Ensuring that I have these on certain documents, I can see all that here. So it makes it very simple for me to kind of understand where I'm at. The other options that you'll see that are kind of pre-created are more of like the financial side. So if I, again, want to look at all of my approved items and services, potentially I want to compare the unit cost, the markup to my selling unit, the quantity, etc. I can start seeing all these pieces come together. And then lastly is that procurement piece. So if I want to, ensure that I'm looking at all of the items that have been approved, but I also want to see their order status, what's been back ordered, filtered there to really allow me to make sure I know exactly what's going on with all these moving parts, that they're on time, that they're going to be delivered to the right place. And they can be exported. So if I want to, download this as an Excel, maybe before I do that, I want to hide some certain columns or I want to adjust this a bit. I can turn some of these off. Some of the designers I've talked to are actually now sending kind of a really basic version to their client. So they know when to expect different materials to be dropped off and they know what's going on. So you can shut some of these off if you want to and send them an Excel file. Or of course, you can utilize this in a lot of different ways. Add new fields. Like we talked about, you can reorder, turn things on and off. So lots of really great features here that will allow you to manipulate this as like kind of a master Google sheet that you don't have to like copy paste stuff over and really make it in the way that you want. So it's a very nice feature. You can see lots of different ways to filter, whether approval status, maybe I want to see all the pending items that maybe I need to figure out, should I get these ordered or not? The category, the room, if they're on a document or not. Lots of different things here that you can see.
You can also maybe you can show them the inline editing. I think it makes a big difference when you're working as a team and you're working, your procurement manager, purchasing manager, procurement team is all the time on that document. And instead of having to open pop-ups to upload information, I mean, we're in 2024. It's an online spreadsheet basically, and everything is easily editable. The description, no pop-ups. Everything is there for you to just update with a click.
Yes, and it's nice that the documents are linked too. So like if, for example, something's locked, it's basically because it's on a document. So I have a quick link to go look at that document, make any adjustments that are necessary there. So yes, it helps me stay very, very organized on all the many moving pieces of a huge project.
Amazing. Thank you, Chloe. I'm also, if you have more questions on the tracker, we can definitely answer. I'm getting questions on mood boards.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So let's go ahead and spend some time there. I would say that our visual tools are also a huge differentiator between, you know, Houzz Pro and Ivy, but also other competitors that are out there. There's some really great visual tools here. So mood boards, I can show you just an example. I am not a designer by any means. I'm sure you can make these really beautiful, but there's some obviously different examples. You can see another one here where I can layer an angle and really actually make it look like a room to my client by adding in items that I've clipped or different pictures that I have. So lots of different ways to make these look great. On the mood boards though, you'll see lots of different functionality. So whether I'm wanting to add in what I've curated from the clipper through my project items or my overall library, I can absolutely do that. If I want to choose to source any items from Houzz, I can also find that easily under this source toggle. Maybe I started in an idea book with my client. I can also pull that information here, pictures from offline on my desktop. You'll see I have some paint swatches. So we have the whole library of different paint from Benjamin Moore and Sherwin-Williams, where you can basically add these little paint swatches. If I wanted to though, like maybe this color is similar, but I'm not actually using Benjamin Moore, I can hide the swatch detail, or if I don't want to show it, that's an option too. And like I said, those 3D floor plans. So lots of different ways you can customize this. Of course, you can have your logo in the upper right. I can change the background color. I like that there's this actual color picker. So if I want to maybe pull some colors from the items that I have on the board, I can use my color picker to make the background sorry,
what you're showing is great. We can also mention the background remover and the templates.
Yeah. So if I notice, for example, like on this one, there's a little thing there that's bugging me that maybe I want to remove a little bit more in detail. I can zoom in. Let me zoom out actually. Let me zoom back into the right spot. Oops, sorry, apologies. Let me cancel. Let me go back.
You have the automatic background removal, and then of course you can go manual.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
AI, as we're adding more and more AI features.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I want to go in maybe with a brush size and kind of manually take some stuff out that it didn't pick up, I can do that as well. But yes, it's pretty good at doing it automatically. But if there's different shadowing or something that I need to manipulate, I can. Or for example, maybe I'm stealing just a pillow from a picture that I saw and I don't need the whole bed that it's on. I can manually erase that off and kind of layer it and angle it on the image as I so choose. There is skewing, obviously commonly used when we're creating like walls or carpets. or beds, just kind of show different angles. At the top here, you'll see some other options. If I just want to, for example, add in some shapes, some arrows, I need to draw anything more manually, show maybe the length of something, I can use the ruler icon to do that. So I can pick a style and I can drag and drop and show how long this light is and how long it hangs. If I need to, show that, that's an option. Lots of different things that you can do.
That's a different thing. And I'll say, like, what our designers really like right now is that they can set up templates. So you set up your logo, always in the same place. You set up a template, and then your team works off those templates, and everything looks the same. So this really is going to be, I think, a game changer. And we're adding tons of new functionalities also on mood boards based on the feedback that we're receiving from the community.
Yes.
So even the simple things like aligning everything, what we're used to on PowerPoint, right, or other tools, it's coming out next week, right? And we're also working on things like multi-pages. So everything is coming at a rapid pace.
Yes.
I'm getting tons of questions, so I'm not sure we'll be able to answer everything, but I see something about the speed from Ivy to Houzz Pro. How is the speed improvement? Maybe we can talk about that, because this is one of the reasons.
Great question. Yes. So candidly, we adore our Ivies who help build this product. It is on an older tech stack. So Ivy does run a little bit slower, candidly. Like, you may see 3 dots from time to time as you have a larger document that's trying to load, etc. In the new experience on Houzz Pro, you're on the best back-end servers. So it is lightning fast, and we're continuing to optimize it as documents or things are getting bigger and bigger and bigger on Houzz, that the load time is much, much better when you're creating new projects in Houzz Pro. Ivy, I know it's a little laggy. It's going to be a lot better in Houzz Pro with the speed.
Awesome. And maybe we can show also our 3D floor planner tool.
Yes. I love this tool. Everyone does. It's very, very popular. So I'll go ahead and just go to 3D floor plans, and you'll see from the top here, I can create from scratch. I can do a room scan, or I can upload a 2D plan. Now, creating from scratch, I would say, is probably the least popular. It's basically you start with the square and you got to manually manipulate everything. But doing a 3D room scan is probably one of the most popular ways, and that's done with your mobile device or your iPad or even an Android. But if you have more of the later versions, let me pop over so you can kind of get a little bit of a visual if you haven't seen it. The latest version, Apple devices are equipped with lasers. So they are accurate within 1% when you're walking into a client's, space, and you're trying to get a better understanding of what you want to do here. You bring out your iPad, you start moving it around, and it pulls up everything, the furniture, the walls, the windows. If you don't have a latest version, that's okay too. You can point and click to take measurements. This just goes a lot faster. So that's one way. So if I scan that room, it basically loads back into my desktop, so I can go back to my office. I can knock down the walls, change the paint colors, add in new finishes, etc. So that's one way to get started. I'll actually show a little bit deeper so you can get a little bit of an idea of what it looks like more end to end. So I can see kind of more of that walkthrough once it's completed with my client. And then the other way, like I mentioned, is uploading a 2D plan. So I could upload a file. So whether that be maybe like a CAD drawing or something that I have on hand here. Let me see if I can load one. So you'll see, for example, here's a plan that I have. Now, this is a first and second story. We do have different floors that you can have on Houzz, but I'm going to start with just taking this plan and measuring a known wall to set my scale. So longer is better. Input the real length. So for example, maybe this garage, I don't know, let's say it's 15 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and click done. And then from here, I can trace my walls. So it allows me to make this a little bit more transparent, but I can enter into trace mode, and then I can basically draw the walls onto this to build my plan that I can then manipulate. So it's pretty nice if I want to use it this way, to start building things to, again, make it a little bit more visual for my client. Lots of different ways to do this, but I won't spend a ton of time obviously building it, but that gives you an idea. And then I can start manipulating it once I have that done. So let me go maybe more into one that's a little bit more completed. And please continue to ask questions. I know this is a popular one here. Okay, let's go in the dollhouse view. So you can see this is kind of basic, don't have a lot of things going on. So maybe if, for example, like I need to add in some paint colors on the walls, I can click to Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams. I can find that paint color that I want. I can do multiple walls at once. I know I don't have any flooring in here, so I want to click on the floor. I want to select the flooring and add it. I can even do finishes on the door. So for example, I know I'm not going to have a white door, so I need to pick something that looks a little bit more realistic here. Lots of different ways that you can really make this come to life with virtually anything. So whether it's the structures from ceilings that I want to select, doors, windows, staircases, fireplaces, these generic products are a lot of what our designers use. So for example, if I want to select a dresser that looks similar to what I'm going to be using for my client, I can go ahead and again select the best finish, the best hardware finish that matches it, and change the dimensions as I need to kind of be an example of what I'm going to be putting into their home.
Amazing. Thank you, Chloe, for this great demo. And I think we're getting some excitement. And again, we see all your questions. And if we haven't answered all of them, we'll get back to you after the call. We'll also share our address. You can message us. It's getting to us, Chloe and I, ivs@houzz.com. Maybe we can show them also all the other features they're getting. I mean,
yeah, I do want to touch on a couple things for you guys. Reporting, I know, is the one we get a lot of questions on. So right. Under company, you do have reporting, like I mentioned in Houzz Pro, that we've kind of done some facelifts on. Coming over from Ivy, you're going to see at the top legacy reports, because we don't want to mess with those. Like, we want your reporting that you know and you're used to stay the same for all your projects. So those are going to be there for you to access. Looks exactly the same. But on some of these reports for Houzz, we've heard some feedback that, for example, you like to manipulate these reports. You want them, for example, to look in a certain way. So if I jump into one and maybe I only want to see a report for Alexa Queen, and I want to save this preset so that I don't have to keep doing it over and over again, I can do that. So another nice thing that you can create some custom reports. Lots of different ways that you can change, like time billing to be quarter, certain date ranges, active projects, set up your column settings with what you want to show or not. That's obviously just one. You can do time billing by project, ingoing and outgoing transactions. So if I want to compare invoices, POs, sales tax, and payments, lots of good stuff in there. But they all do have the option to save like the custom filters or export them out if you'd like. Another one that we get some questions on, or I'll pause. Shoshana, questions on that one?
No, I just, since you're mentioning also report, I want to remind everyone that we sync with QuickBooks. Mm-hmm. We did recently a webinar with logistics. We're in touch with all the main bookkeepers in the design industry. We're just to make sure that we can provide the best tools, right? The best reports, and just to offer the best experience, not just for our designers, but also for our bookkeepers who are serving you as you're filing sales tax every month. So yeah, all these reports are built, with our bookkeepers in mind as well.
Yes, absolutely. So your QuickBooks integration, if you already have that, for example, on Ivy, that also will come over. But if you want to take advantage of talking to our in-house accounting integration experts, which many of you I'm sure have talked to them, Andy and Siegmann, they've been with us for a very long time. You can, of course, chat with us. We'll connect you over to them. We'll give you and your bookkeeper anything that you need to know about making the move, just to ensure that we're all on the same page and all your questions are answered on the bookkeeping side too. So
right. And usually they're already well versed in Houzz Pro at this point in the community, so don't worry about that. And again, messages I put in the chat. I mean, we published recently a webinar that we did with all the questions. All the questions were answered about how it works on Houzz Pro. So feel free to go on our blog and check that out. Check that video. You'll find all the answers.
Yes.
And so we talked about reports. I just wanted quickly to show them also all the other features. We also have the ability to add team members and subs. That's something that came up.
Yes, I see some on subs. Subs are unlimited, so there's no fee to adding subs. And they have limited access, I will say. So they have access to like a general, overview of the project. They have access to a timeline and maybe a Gantt chart that you may want to build. I saw some recent questions on this actually in the Ivy Facebook page. If you're, thinking of a solution to try to build a schedule to stay more organized, this is something that you could share, for example, with your subs. These can be pretty detailed, to be honest. So whether it's me creating like phases, dependencies, tasks within those phases, saving this as a template, you have access to do all that. And again, yes, you can absolutely share this with your client or your subcontractors to grant them access. So yes, subs are a very popular thing that we also have on Houzz Pro to help get everyone a little bit more organized and talking to each other.
Right. And in addition to the schedule that you see there, I mean, of course, you can also save it as a template, so you don't have to start from scratch every time. You can also use tasks. We have a task management center that's completely new. And you can assign tasks to people on your team, and they'll get notified automatically over email. And also, of course, when they open their Houzz account. So that's also included. All of that is included in your Houzz Pro subscription. There is takeoffs that's also available. I know it depends some design, depending on what you're working on remodeling and on the construction side. That'll be a big time saver for you. We mentioned reporting. I'm trying to see. Maybe something else we didn't mention. When the big tracker that we showed before, right? We're going to be able to view at a glance and manage procurement, all of that. You're going to also be able to export it to Excel with images. So I know that was a big ask before. So everything exported to Excel, and everything also, when you're going from proposals to invoices to purchase orders, then everything is connected. When you can export tear sheets, FF&E, everything you like doing, it will be there. Can tasks take the place of Asana? It's a good question. Basically, we're trying to really give you this all-in-one, as you can see, place, right? This one-stop shop where your team can work, being inside a Houzz Pro, instead of having to pay for all this multiple software. So yes, definitely you can use task, and it's linked to schedule, to the Gantt, to the calendar, everything, or notifications. So
yes,
it could take the place of Asana there. Maybe we can just talk a little bit about the move now. We just have a little bit of time left. Just reinforce again that we're here for you when you make that move, that everything moves with you. You want to touch on that, and also we have questions about pricing, of course, Chloe, if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, thank you for all of your incredible questions. If we didn't get to them, I'm happy to answer them. I know there are a lot coming through. So now what? So if you want to make the move, again, reminder, ivies@houzz.com is going to be your best friend. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can email me there. Some of you might have my personal email, which is absolutely fine. And we would love to chat with you. So I know it can be scary, it can be intimidating, but we want to be as honest as we can on like what it looks like, what your pricing is, etc. So we will honor your pricing. So if you switch on over, your pricing will stay the same. We're going to give you unlimited team members for your first year on Houzz Pro as well. Now, if you have questions on what is my pricing going to look like 2 years down the line, we can, try to understand a little bit more about your business, what you're trying to accomplish. Are you growing? Is there other features you may be interested down the line? I wouldn't expect that pricing is going to materially change for you, but it's also dependent upon who you are and what's going on. So chat with us, let us know. We have a variety of different plans on Houzz Pro, but we want to give our IVs the best plan possible with the most access to your team. So again, chat with us and let us know. The process, once you email, and if you're like, hey, Chloe, I'm scared, but I'm ready to make the move, I will get you in touch with, we have 2 individuals who handle all of our IV migrations. So they are very familiar with what to do, how to do it, and ensure it's handled with care. So I will have your account worked by one of 2 individuals. They will make sure to answer all your questions if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with them. But they'll basically, again, send you an agreement that you electronically sign for Houzz Pro. As soon as you sign it, you get an email that basically says, connect your IV and Houzz Pro accounts. And you click that button and you connect them. Then all the information loads over. If, for example, maybe you pay in full for your IV subscription and you just renewed it, no worries. We'll give you a prorated refund back on your IV plan before we charge you on Houzz. So it's a different payment processing system. So again, we'll take care of all that for you as well. So again, it's really, really easy, but just make sure you talk to the right people who can handle it with the care and attention that you guys need and answer your unique questions that you have.
Exactly. So that's what we're here for. And we're doing more of those sessions. We're going to have another webinar in June to, again, cover, do another demo. So, if you want someone else from your team, of course, we'll share the recording. Yeah. But if you want someone else from your team to join, really feel free to join the webinar in June, and just feel free to set up a call with us, and we'll, walk you through, answer your questions live, and make sure you know what's coming up. But I think at the end of the day, it's what you used to have, with more features. Mm-hmm. And also, a team. The truth is we're investing in Houzz Pro, right? We're releasing, as Chloe was saying, we're releasing new features every week. Yes. So we want you to benefit from all those features. We have so many IVs who made the move. We love our IV community. We know how hard it is sometimes to change software when we are used to something for years. So we want to be there for you to help with this transition. And, but we also want you to benefit from all these new features and improve, and have you on the other side, so everybody can enjoy all the great tools that we have. And with so many IVs who are enjoying the new tools, so you're missing out from staying in that old experience. We want you to have the speed and the tools. So please message us at ivs@houzz.com to learn more, and would love to continue the conversation. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, everyone. I look forward to hearing from you and hopefully answering again your questions and giving you more insight and maybe assisting you in making the move. So thanks again so much for coming today. We appreciate you guys.